I just want to build a quick mock-up for this app idea that I have, and show it to a couple of people and see what they think of it. My plan now is definitely to ship as much as possible. Just build loads of MVPs, keep pushing them, keep shipping them, and finding out what the market loves best. I think that's the best way to do it. It's also the best way to learn to code. Although I can code, but not to, like a full stack level, or be able to build fully blown apps and leverage APIs and stuff like that. Build this app depending on how people like the mockup, or another SaaS tool that I have in mind. But yeah, I know in one of my videos I spoke about how Cursor AI isn't that great. It isn't, but I still use it with ChatGPT. And then what I'm going to use alongside it is V0, which is made by Vercel, the server backend company. And what I've gathered from Twitter is V0 is good for making UI elements, and then you can put those UI elements into Cursor, and then Cursor can do the rest. So yeah, those are the tools that I'm planning to use in terms of building apps, and I'll get to building a rough mockup of this app. Once I've built it, I'll show you guys. I want to leverage the subscribers that I've got, and you guys can give me some feedback on it, whether you think it's a good idea or not. I know there's something similar out there at the moment. I feel like not that many Islamic apps out there have got good UI. Pillars is probably the only one that I know of, and they're killing it. Allah Mubarak. So I built out a pretty good prototype of this app idea that I had this morning. I built it out in probably about an hour, all with Cursor and ChatGPT. So I know in one video I mentioned how bad Cursor was. I'm going to stick to that. It's still not amazing, but whenever it would hallucinate or not give me the correct answer, I would then put the code base into ChatGPT and then copy the result from ChatGPT back into Cursor, and that would nearly always solve the problem actually. So I did that back and forth for about an hour, and I ended up with a pretty solid result of what I'm trying to build. I'll put an example on screen now showing you roughly of what it is. I'm not going to go into detail of the actual idea and what this app could potentially become, but I was given the idea by a friend. It was essentially, I think it was a physical product called, I think it's called the Halal Jar, and it's just a jar filled with Quranic quotes, color coded like this app. And if you're feeling sad, you pick out a blue one. If you're feeling happy, you pick out a yellow one, and it would give you a relevant Quranic quote to help you handle that emotion. So I built out a quick app version of it because I realized there's so many non-Muslim versions of this, but there's none to actually help a Muslim. And while normal motivational quotes are good, nothing will ever be a quote from the Quran. Nothing will ever be Allah's words. So yeah, it'll be cool to see what I can do with this. Like I said, this was just a rough mock-up. I'm now going to send it to a couple friends and family members, see if they like the idea of it. And if they do, I'll properly build this out. I'll get the same marketing team on board for Sheikh AI because they smashed it for that. And we'll get this one going as well. What I like about this is I'm going to build it completely from scratch with you guys on here. Now, yes, some may argue, someone might see my YouTube video and steal this idea and build it quicker than me. I'm not too worried about that, mainly because the idea's in my head. No one can take what's in my head and distribute that the same way I am planning to. So yeah, it'll be cool to see where this goes and build this in public, especially considering the fact that I have very little Swift UI and Swift experience. Building an app completely from scratch, completely with AI in public. I think what I'm gonna do is create a digital Islamic journal, because there's so many mental health apps made for non-Muslims and there's none made for Muslims. Imagine an app where you could log how you feel and it would give you a dua relevant to that emotion. Cursor decided to delete the whole app, so I now need to make it again. It's my fault. I should have used GitHub because I've literally just lost all the progress. I think my issue is I want to build straight away. Something like this, I should plan. I should be making mock-ups. I should have, like at least some notes written down of like a user workflow for the user experience. But it's fine. I've learnt my lesson. So I think I'll just end the night with some video editing, and then I'll write up a proper plan tomorrow. So as I said the other day, I'm going to run you guys through this little doc that I made for this app. It's very short, so it shouldn't take too long. So essentially, if you watch the other video, I had an idea for an app where you would select how you're feeling and it would give you a specific dua or a verse in the Quran or a hadith to help you handle that emotion. It's something that I always thought was needed. I feel like a lot of the dua apps at the moment are just the generic du'as that you hear online in the normal collection. Nothing is personal to the user. And I have seen an app actually on the App Store that does this, but the UI is not amazing. Um, so I thought there's definitely a gap in the market for something like this and potentially to add more features and build out something a little bit bigger. So yeah, that's the main app idea. In terms of the main aim for this project is I want to build it and launch it as quick as possible. I'm following the ship fast approach. I want to build as much stuff as possible. I want to get it out there in public for users to play around with and use as fast as possible. The next thing that's really important to me is monetize from the beginning. A lot of time and money definitely goes into building apps. Sheikh AI was a big cut out of my bank account. So monetizing from the beginning is definitely important to me, not just because I want to make money, but also because it will allow me to focus on this project and continue to develop it in the future. I also want to build it in public. I want you guys to be able to let me know on features you might want. I think someone commented last video that they wanted this app in dark mode. I will add that, just not now, right? I think the main point of Call at the moment is to build the first MVP, make sure the main features of this app work, and then we can add cool appearance stuff like dark mode and themes and stuff like that. Now, just to let you know, this whole plan was built by ChatGPT. So it was built using one of my AI agents, which I'm working on a video at the moment to teach you guys how to build your own AI agents for all aspects of your life. So 6 to 8 weeks is what my agent thinks I can build this product in. It hasn't taken into account uni assignments and like my work, and I've got a very big family wedding coming up again. This time it's one of my closest cousins, so that will take up a lot of my time. But this 6 to 8 weeks does not include that. So I'm not sure how long this app will take to build. I want to ship it as fast as possible, like I've said multiple times, but this is variable. 8 weeks, 2 months, potentially by the end of the year, this app could go live, inshallah. The first 2 weeks I want to spend doing UI UX design. So again, in the previous video, I jumped straight into building and then I ended up actually deleting the app itself by accident. What I'm going to be doing this time is properly planning out this app, which is why I've got a doc like this. So yeah, for the first 2 weeks, I'll be spending my time designing the app, the look of it, and also the experience as well, right? The flow for the user. The next couple of weeks after that will be literally spent developing the product. So all the core features like being able to log your emotions, get the specific du'as and verses from that as well. That is the main bulk of the project. And that's what I'll be spending majority of the time on. Then the last development process will be on adding mainly premium features. Maybe not so much notifications, but reminders, and some of the other premium features which I'll discuss in the monetization aspects, but also the databases as well, and obviously testing as well. So in terms of monetization, the base product will be free. There are a lot of apps now that are taking the approach of you just have to pay for it. Again, it's an Islamic related app. I don't want to do that. I only want people to pay if they see value from it and they want to gain more value from it. So freemium, all users will be able to use the app as normal. You can select any emotion and get the right guidance for you. However, it will not track or log that emotion. So this information will not get stored on the database. And you'll understand why this is important when I talk about the premium plan. Limited check-ins. This is, I should really make this italic because I'm not 100% sure yet on this. But this is just something that I had in mind in terms of the user will only be able to use this app like 3 times a day, for example. Premium plan, $4.99 a month, I think is cheap enough and a good enough price to target the app. And then £50 a year as well. Now, essentially for premium, what will happen is every time you select an emotion, on the back end, it will create a score. So essentially, the app will know how you're feeling, almost like a wellness checker, right? It will know on a scale of 1 to 10, if you're 7, okay, cool, you're feeling a little bit happy. If you're 1, you're angry or really upset. And the app will have some logic on the back end that will work that out. And from this, it will then provide a more specific dua for the user. this is what the user will be paying for. They'll also be paying for analytics so they can analyze that information themselves. And one cool feature I thought of, they will be reminded after each salah. So after each salah, they will be reminded, okay, it's time to track your emotion. How essentially they get a notification saying, how are you feeling right now? So 5 times a day, they'll track how they're feeling, and that will get added to the database. I will be going through the exact same distribution process that I did for Sheikh AI. So my team, my marketing team, Kasim, will handle all of that for me. In terms of development process, I'm leaving this private as of now, but just because I haven't finalized it yet. But mainly what I'm going to be doing is developing the core features first, building that, launching the product, and then, again, like I said, building in public. And then tech stack, literally Swift. It's all going to be coded, hard coded with Swift. So yeah, hopefully that gave you some insight in terms of this next app that I'm going to be building. And technically speaking, we're going to be building, right? Like I said, I am going to rely on you guys' feedback. I won't be able to build this without your input. So please, any ideas that you have for this app, even if you think it's a rubbish idea, let me know. I definitely need that feedback. What essentially I want to do first, which I haven't written in this plan, is get a waitlist up as soon as possible. I think that's really important. It's what really helped validate the idea for Sheikh AI. Maybe after I've developed the first emotion feature, so more or less the main feature, I'm going to make a landing page, probably on Framer, and get a waitlist up and running. But I'll get the marketing team to start pushing out videos and promoting the product and getting as many people on this waitlist as possible, because that is what will validate this product. And then that waitlist won't be like Sheikh AI. So it won't just be put an email address in. I've been doing a lot of research recently in terms of the best ways to grow a SaaS. And one idea that I saw was, when you do the waitlist, almost have it like an onboarding procedure. So I will call, enter your email address, fine, but I'm also going to be asking, like, for example, do you use any emotional guidance apps or any mental health apps already at the moment? If so, how much do you pay? Do you pay, or would you be willing to pay? And how much would you be willing to pay? All these type of questions, and this will allow me to get as much data as possible. Because if most people are paying £10 a month for an app like this, but a kafar version, then I'm going to charge £10 a month as well, maybe a little bit less. But that market research is definitely key. But I don't want to just ask everyone. I want to ask people that use this app or are interested in this app, just to make it a bit more personal to our users as well. So yeah, I think the next week or two I will be doing the design for this app. Again, like I said, this is all public, so I'm going to be documenting the whole thing, screen recording the whole thing. We'll be brainstorming together, getting color schemes, everything. I'm recording the whole process, documenting the whole process, and we will build this app in public. So yeah, next steps is the design. Once that's done, we'll get straight to coding.